Welcome to the Explainer. So if your brain ever feels like a crowded room where literally everyone is shouting at once, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're exploring something called chaotic breathing. It's a highly dynamic, totally transformative practice that's designed to actively shatter those habitual mental patterns of yours and wake up all that dormant energy. Let's jump right in.
I want you to think about last night or maybe the night before. You know the feeling. You're lying awake in bed, staring blankly at the ceiling, and your brain is just spinning out of control. It's that super familiar, incredibly exhausting cycle. You're caught in this repetitive loop of worry, maybe replaying an awkward conversation from 3 years ago, or beating yourself up over some tiny mistake you made earlier that day. Look, we all have these loops. It's a huge daily struggle, and it's just so draining to feel like a passenger in a car that your anxiety is driving.
The truth is, most of us spend an enormous chunk of our day completely on autopilot. We're caught up in repetitive worrying, constant planning, self-criticism, and these habitual emotional reactions. And the crazy part? These patterns run entirely beneath our conscious awareness. Think of them like rigid, heavy gears in a machine. They're stuck in an anxiety loop, just grinding away in the exact same slow, predictable way, day after day. It can feel practically impossible to stop that machine once it really gets going.
Which brings us to Section 1, the counterintuitive solution, disrupting the autopilot. Okay, let's dive into this, because the solution to stopping those rigid gears isn't to try and gently slow them down. It's to boldly, actively short-circuit the entire machine.
Now, this totally flips our normal expectations upside down. Usually, when you hear the word meditation, you probably picture something slow, controlled, and deeply rhythmic, right? Well, chaotic breathing throws all of that right out the window. Instead, it is fast, it's vigorous, it's wildly unpredictable. We aren't trying to soothe the mind into quietness here. We are actively disrupting it with sudden, massive bursts of energy.
So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding exactly what this is. Chaotic breathing is an active practice where you breathe rapidly, deeply, and most importantly, irregularly through your nose. You completely abandon any fixed rhythm. And the logic behind this? It's honestly brilliant. See, the human mind absolutely craves predictable patterns. By breathing with intense unpredictability, your mind literally cannot maintain its usual thought routines. It gets so incredibly confused by the lack of a rhythm that it just drops the anxiety loop. It's like throwing a wrench into a spinning fan. It abruptly forces your awareness right into the present moment just to deal with this massive influx of oxygen and energy. Moving on to Section 2, the payoff. What happens to the body and mind? And this brilliantly illustrates why this matters so much for your daily life and the truly incredible results you can get from this kind of disruption.
When you actually engage in this practice, that massive surge of oxygen stimulates some really profound physiological activity. Physically, you might feel tingling in your hands and feet, maybe waves of warmth, definitely an increased heartbeat, or literal energy vibrations moving through your muscles. But mentally you experience the exact opposite. You get this sudden, profound quietness. Daydreaming and mental wandering just plummet. The overthinking absolutely stops. You're left in this amazing state of extreme mental clarity, emotional release, and a feeling of being hyper-present.
And speaking of emotional release, this is one of the most fascinating aspects of the whole practice. The source material notes that emotions often become stored within the body through muscular tension and restricted breathing. Essentially, we literally hold on to our stress. By introducing this intense, chaotic breath, you shake loose those emotional blockages. It's wild. But practitioners often experience unexpected and completely natural crying, maybe spontaneous laughter, huge surges of joy, or even the release of pent-up anger. It's just this really powerful, liberating way to process suppressed feelings, literally just by breathing them out. All right, Section 3, the practice, how to do chaotic breathing. So how do we actually pull this off? Well, before you start, you'll need to find a quiet room with fresh air where you know you won't be interrupted. Make sure you wear loose, non-restrictive clothing, and this is important, make sure you're doing this on an empty or very light stomach. Now let's talk timing. If you're a beginner, aim for just 3 to 5 minutes for the active breathing phase. Intermediate practitioners, you can go for 5 to 10 minutes, and advanced folks can push it all the way to 15. But the key takeaway here? Approach those longer sessions gradually. You really have to give your body time to adapt to this totally new, intense energy. All right, let's get into the active phase. First, stand comfortably with your feet shoulder-width apart, keep your knees relaxed and your spine upright.
Or you can sit if you need to and close your eyes. Take a few natural breaths just to relax your face, your jaw, your neck, and your shoulders, and then go. Start rapid, deep, energetic nasal breathing. Completely abandon any rhythm. Just let that continuous breath move deeply into your chest and abdomen. Don't hold it. Gradually ramp up the force and depth, really imagining every single chaotic breath, literally shaking loose your stress, your tension, and all that mental rigidity. Focus entirely on the intensity, not the control. Then, as the intensity peaks, simply remain aware. Notice the tingling and the warmth, but try not to overanalyze them. Just let them happen. Maintain this for your chosen duration, and then you completely stop. Just let your breath naturally return to its own gentle rhythm, keep your eyes closed, and remain perfectly still. This silent observation phase, which should last about 5 to 15 minutes, is really where the magic happens.
After you finish that silent observation, you really want to be gentle with yourself. Sit quietly for just a few more minutes. Have some water if you need it. Take a real moment to genuinely observe how your mood and your energy have shifted. You'll very likely feel incredibly refreshed, mentally clear, and just emotionally lighter. And because of this, it is highly recommended that you avoid rushing right back into demanding activities. Just give your nervous system a chance to settle into this new, vibrant state of presence.
Okay, moving to Section 4, the fine print, safety guidelines and caveats. Now, before you jump up and try this right now, we do need to be very clear about something. Chaotic breathing is a highly intense, physically demanding practice, and it absolutely must be approached responsibly. You absolutely must avoid this practice, or at the very least, seek professional medical guidance first if you have serious heart conditions, uncontrolled high blood pressure, severe respiratory disorders, epilepsy or seizure disorders, any serious neurological conditions, recent surgery, or if you are pregnant. This technique places a rapid, very significant demand on your cardiovascular and respiratory systems, so please take these contraindications seriously.
Furthermore, even if you are perfectly healthy, you have to listen to your body. A little bit of lightheadedness is totally normal with deep breathing, but if dizziness ever becomes excessive during the practice, you must stop immediately. Just hit the brakes, sit down, and return to normal, gentle breathing. Never, ever force your body beyond its natural limits. Safety always comes first, and remember, you are always in complete control of the intensity.
So, there you have it. We've covered the mechanics, the incredible mental and physical benefits, and the essential safety guidelines. By deliberately moving beyond our predictable, sluggish routines, we really can clear out the mental clutter and cultivate a state of vibrant inner aliveness. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder today. Are you ready to break your rhythm, short-circuit your autopilot, and finally find your presence? I highly encourage you to explore this, safely of course, and see what dormant energy you can awaken within yourself. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.